Lucky Boys Podcast.
Everybody that I've seen that knows how to fight, they're not walking around with their chest out like looking for a fight. They know what they can do. They're very confident in their abilities. They're actually one of the nicest people.
Yes.
They know what to do. They know how to control your body. If they could really, they could kill you.
Yep.
With their bare hands, they can absolutely annihilate you and kill you.
Yep.
But they're so nice to you. They're not confrontational. You would never know. And they could have like a regular body. You know, they wouldn't have these bulging biceps. It's actually quite the opposite. They're very lean.
That's right.
Very lean. And they're super nice. And then you get the guys with the egos. Most of the time, 9 out of 10 times, those people cannot fight. They get like, I don't know, the courage or the strength for, I don't know, 30 seconds.
Yep.
40 seconds. If they're sort of trained, maybe a little bit more than that. If they got a lot of heart, maybe a little more than that. But it will fade because their muscles are tight. They're tiring themselves out faster, and they're not trained. Their lungs and then their heart eventually, their body's just not gonna listen to them what the mind wants to do. They have zero technique. They're gonna get defeated.
Conditioning is everything.
Right.
You have very big guys. You know, you look at them; they're very muscular, like bodybuilders. But you need a lot of like blood and oxygen to feed that. So they, you know, maybe they'll go at it for a minute and then they'll get tired. And once they get tired, it's, you know, they're one of the most helpless people out there in terms of sparring.
Yeah.
Like they're like a
defense
child.
Does not exist. Yeah. Their defense will break down.
Yep.
Like they'll start covering up. They're done.
Yeah.
They're done. I've seen big guys. I've seen bouncers who are very intimidating physically. Right. And when they started sparring, initially you're like, yo, my man's going to get wrecked. And once they continue to press and stay on top of the bounce and continue to press them, like maybe a minute goes by, you can see the form changing. You can see his body turn into it was slightly bent, and then it went to a complete C. Like he was huffing and puffing, and he was just kind of like just dragging. Then his arms fell.
Yep.
And that was the biggest tell. He started fighting with his arms down. He was just swinging every time the guy came close.
That's the biggest tell.
And walking backwards.
You know, your heart can only pump out so much blood. If you're a big guy, like they tend to gas out very quickly as well.
And that's the thing.
Just going back to what you said earlier with the looks, it can be very deceiving. People that come to the gym, they look like normal people, and actually the preppy looking short guy, you know, like riding his scooter to work
with a bad haircut.
That's a guy that kills everyone on the mat. He kills everyone.
The skinnier guy.
The guy that looks like he doesn't give a fuck about himself. Like, I don't want to fight you, dog. Like, I know you've been trained. Like,
super dangerous.
Yeah.
So it's very deceptive.
So technique trumps size anytime.
Not anytime.
Well, most of the time.
If you're both trained, no.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But,
yeah, of course.
But if you're talking about someone who's, it does make a difference in size, but if you're trained, you have a huge advantage over them.
Right.
You know.
It's just like if we'll put it to something like basketball, right? If someone that's 5'5", that's trained, has been playing basketball for the last 10, 20 years, that went through the leagues, played varsity in high school. Let's just say varsity level, not even NCAA, right? He's playing varsity level high school basketball competitively versus somebody that's 6'8", 7 feet, that just plays basketball casually. I'm putting my money on the guy that's 5'5". I'm putting money every single time. The
experience factor.
Yeah, he's more than likely gonna win.
Yeah, and they probably had the 5'5" guy probably has experience playing against a 6'8".
Like I'm 6'3".
Yeah,
a guy that's been training in MMA and he's like 5'6", 5'7". Come at me. It's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem.
Like Khabib. Like if he comes at you, he's shorter than you, right?
Khabib's you can't even compare me to Khabib. Are you crazy, bro? Like Khabib is like a whole nother monster, bro. Yeah, that's a whole nother level. I'm just talking about casual people, like regular. Like of course, a pro fighter, a pro female fighter, you wouldn't even stand a chance.
Yeah.
Pro female fighter, she'll knock you the fuck out.
I've been in terms of grappling, I've been like tossed and thrown around by like this like short Asian girl who's been doing judo for like since she was like 5 or something, and like I have 80 pounds on her, and she's like tossing. And this is someone who has some training as well.
Yeah.
It's like throwing me around the room everywhere.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah.
So even if you're comparing like people who are experts in one area or fighters, compare them to someone who trains casually, there's a huge gap.
Yeah.
Huge. So if you compare that to a fighter who versus like a person who hasn't trained at all, it's a complete joke. You know, there's just different levels to it.